Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to dive into an engaging presentation on advanced pronunciation for IELTS speaking. This is the first slide, so I just want to briefly introduce what we'll cover. We'll explore key pronunciation tips, techniques, and strategies to help you excel in your IELTS speaking test. So let's get started and make this session both informative and enjoyable. All right, let's dive into our second slide. Here, we're focusing on three key areas: chunking and rhythm, extra sounds, and connected speech. These elements are essential because they help us understand how natural speech flows and how we can improve our listening and speaking skills. First, chunking and rhythm refer to how we group words together and the beat or pace of our speech, making it sound more natural and easier to follow. Then, we have extra sounds, which include those little filler sounds or variations that native speakers often use without even thinking about it. Recognizing these can really boost your comprehension. Lastly, connected speech is about how words blend together in normal conversation, often reducing or linking sounds. Mastering these concepts will bring your language skills to a more authentic level, making your speech smoother and more natural. So, throughout this section, we'll explore how these elements fit into the bigger picture of effective communication. Listeners often struggle to decode where one word ends and the next begins. It's a common challenge, especially when we speak quickly or casually. Words tend to flow together in a continuous stream, making it harder for the listener to parse the message clearly. This is what we call connected speech. When we speak naturally, we don't always pause between words as we do in formal speech or writing. Instead, our speech is fluid and sounds blend together. Understanding this is crucial because it impacts how well our message is received and understood. Recognizing the patterns of connected speech helps us become more effective communicators, especially in real-life conversations. It also highlights why listeners might sometimes ask for clarification or seem to miss parts of what we say. So, mastering connected speech is key to improving both our clarity and our ability to engage authentically with others. Let's take a look at how we often simplify pronunciation in everyday speech. For example, the word sweet potato is frequently pronounced as SWE potato. Notice how the T sound in sweet and potato can sometimes be softened or even dropped in casual conversation. Similarly, when we say most men, it often becomes MOS men. The T in most can be elided, making the phrase flow more smoothly and naturally. This brings us to an important concept called elision, which is the dropping of sounds, specifically the T and D sounds, when they appear between words or in rapid speech. It's a common feature of spoken English, especially in informal contexts. Understanding these dropping sounds helps us grasp how native speakers communicate quickly and efficiently. It also highlights the importance of listening carefully, as these elisions can change how words sound, even if the meaning stays the same. This is a key part of mastering natural speech and connecting with real-world language use. All right, let's go through this practice slide together. First, we have most snacks, which highlights the variety and popularity of snacks among students. It's important because snacks often reflect personal preferences and cultural influences. Next, I walked to school shows an alternative to taking the bus, perhaps indicating a more active lifestyle or a different daily routine. Then, I missed the bus reminds us that sometimes plans don't go as expected, and we need to adapt. Connecting these points, the theme is about daily routines and choices. Whether it's choosing snacks, walking instead of taking the bus, or dealing with unexpected delays, all these small decisions shape our day. So, think about how these everyday moments influence your overall experience and mindset. Now, let's practice saying these naturally, focusing on making it flow smoothly and casually. Let's take a closer look at how we use the W sound in different words. When we say, go W over, we're emphasizing the W sound at the beginning of go and over. This is a simple way to practice the W sound in context. Next, we have to W understand. Notice how the W sound links these words together, making the phrase flow smoothly. It's important to recognize that the W sound often appears at the start of words like want, where, or when. and mastering its pronunciation helps improve overall clarity. Now moving to the part after /u, / or o sounds, we say I always. Here, the Y sound is a quick, gentle glide that connects words smoothly. For example, when you say I always, the Y sound helps the phrase sound natural and connected. Finally, in by organized, the Y sound again acts as a linking sound, making the phrase more fluid. It's especially important to add these subtle sounds, like W or Y, to enhance your pronunciation and make your speech sound more natural and confident. Remember, adding these extra sounds isn't just about pronunciation. It's about making your communication clearer and more engaging. So keep practicing how these sounds fit into your speech, and you'll notice a real difference in how confidently you speak. Let's talk about what to avoid first. When selecting resources, steer clear of overly informal podcasts or videos that teach in a way that feels unnaturally slow. These can sometimes be distracting or not engaging enough for learners. Instead, focus on choosing resources that actually educate or inform, things that add real value and help learners understand the material clearly. The main goal here is to find good models, examples of effective teaching that are clear, engaging, and professional. These models serve as a standard for quality and help set the right tone for learning. Remember, the quality of your resources directly impacts the learning experience, so aim for those that truly educate and inspire. This ties back into our overall theme of creating effective, meaningful learning environments. Now, this slide highlights a common trap that many language learners fall into, slips that can sound like grammatical errors to the examiner. For example, you've probably heard someone say, "It's depend," instead of "it depends," or even mistakenly say, "it depends," when you actually mean something else. The key point here is that pronunciation mistakes, especially with words like depends, can easily be misunderstood. This is where the danger zone really is. Whether it's pronunciation or grammar, it can impact how your message is received. So, the main message is to be aware of how you pronounce words, because mispronunciation can sometimes sound like a grammatical mistake. And of course, this ties back to our overall theme. Clear communication is essential, whether that's through correct grammar or correct pronunciation. Always pay attention to both aspects to ensure your message is as accurate and natural as possible. Chunking helps the listener follow your ideas more easily. For example, when I say milk, chicken, rice as a list, it's simple and clear. But if I say chicken and rice as one dish, it's a different idea, a single concept. Grouping words logically is key. It helps your audience understand what relates to what. So when you're presenting, think about how to organize your ideas into chunks. It makes your message more coherent and memorable. Remember, effective chunking is all about guiding your listener smoothly through your points, keeping them engaged and focused. Now, let's talk about how we lengthen important words and reduce less important ones. This is a key aspect of stress-timed asterisk rhythm, which is common in many languages, including English. The core rule here is all about asterisk rhythm asterisk and stress. When we speak, we naturally give more emphasis to certain words, making them longer or more prominent asterisk, while asterisk shortening or asterisk reducing those that are less important. This creates a natural flow that helps listeners easily follow asterisk our message. Remember, it's not just about individual words, but how rhythm asterisk and stress work together to shape asterisk meaning and clarity in our speech. So, mastering this balance is essential for effective communication. All right, let's break down these 3 sentence structures to understand how they show different ways of talking about children and snacks. First, we have children eat snacks, which is a simple present tense statement. It's used to describe a general fact or regular activity. Next, we move to the children will eat the snacks. This introduces the future tense with will, indicating an upcoming action. Lastly, the children will be eating the snacks, uses the future continuous tense, emphasizing that the action will be ongoing at a specific future time. When we say all 3 in 3 seconds, it highlights how changing just a few words can shift the focus from a general truth to a planned future action, and then to an ongoing future activity. This is important because it shows how different tenses and structures can give us nuances in meaning. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding these variations helps us communicate more precisely about actions and time frames, which is crucial in both speaking and writing. So, mastering these forms allows us to express ourselves clearly and accurately in different contexts. You got this. Remember, practicing is key, and one effective method is logical chunking, breaking information into manageable, meaningful sections. Focus on the key content words within those chunks to reinforce understanding and memory. Also, try to mimic natural speech patterns. This makes your delivery more engaging and easier to remember. These tips for success will help you become more confident and effective, whether you're speaking or studying. Keep these strategies in mind, and you'll continue to improve and succeed.